My name is Sarah Woodbury, and today we'll be talking about Norman Irish Christianity.
So what's the difference between Norman Christianity and Norman Irish Christianity?
For starters, the Normans didn't conquer Ireland until 100 years after they'd conquered England.
I don't remember us last year talking much about the Norman conquest of Ireland.
Weirdly, we didn't, which is why I think we actually have to talk a little bit about it now. So in a nutshell, in 1169, Richard de Clare, known to history as Strongbow, who was the Earl of Pembroke in Wales, took it upon himself to aid Dermot, the King of Leinster, against his enemies. In exchange, Dermot promised to give Richard his daughter in marriage, as well as the throne of Leinster upon Dermot's death. The glitch in this plan was that King Henry of England did not think that one of his vassals should become a king in his own right. As a result, then, of Richard and Dermot's alliance, Henry put together the invasion of Ireland in 1171.
So it's the classic example of bringing in an ally to fight off your local enemy and having that ally eventually take over everything.
Right, exactly as Vortigern did with the Britons. The truth is, Dermot didn't see the Normans as enemies, even if we think he should have known better. As I said in a previous video, the Normans are descended from the same Danes who founded Dublin. By 1169, Dermot ruled over them, so he didn't realize the threat. It also wasn't Clare himself he had to be concerned about. He just didn't have a good sense of the politics of England.
So Henry invaded and in a very short amount of time took over most of Ireland.
Right. So now we get to the issue of the church. Irish Christianity, like the Welsh and Saxon, was a different thing from the Norman church. For starters, the Irish definitely saw themselves as independent of Canterbury and had worked hard over the centuries to remain so. Actually, at one point, the Danes in Dublin had looked to Canterbury for authority in order to snub the Irish who surrounded them. But by 1152, they'd capitulated and looked to Cashel and an all-Irish synod, which had been approved by the Pope. The English tried to stop this from happening. In 1155, the secretary to the Archbishop of Canterbury, who happened to be good friends with the recently elected Anglo-Norman Pope Adrian IV, made an extraordinary intervention in regards to Norman involvement in Ireland, hoping to reform the, quote, barbaric and impious people. This resulted in giving Henry II papal authority to intervene in Ireland by conquest if necessary. Thus, some of the initiative for Henry's political and military intervention came from church leaders, especially the Archbishop of Canterbury, who wanted to control the Irish church and fully implement certain reforms, many of which were the same ones the Normans had imposed on the Saxons. These included attitudes towards marriage, clerical celibacy, the sacramental system, and control of church lands, which of course also means money. Next week, we'll be talking about Clonmines, an Irish Norman church and associated village established by the great knight and lord William Marshall.
What is the difference between Norman Christianity and Norman Irish Christianity? You know what? You mouth the words I'm saying.
Oh gosh. Okay.
It's like I'm your puppet. It is kind of odd that we didn't cover the entire sweep of UK history in 44 5-minute videos last year. Yeah.
What were we thinking of?
I don't know.
Thanks for watching my video. You can click on the playlist or subscribe to my channel to see more. There'll be a new video next week. If you want to check out my books, click on the link to my webpage.